Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Valvas. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you. We are physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that are going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. A very big welcome to Lord Hanuman and all the Devis and Devtas that took part in the epic called the Ramayana. Today is Hanuman Jayanti, which means the appearance day of Lord Hanuman about 2 million years ago. And it is significant to note that Lord Hanuman is not only a historical figure, he is also part of the eternal constitution for mankind and absolute science in whatever he has done. So from 2016 I started making declarations that in my lifetime, and I think Nirali and Vasan were recording these videos, we were doing videos those times as discourses. I'm not too sure if Prince can find these discourses. But I made bold declarations that the scientific community is going to bow down to the Upanishads. You remember, Nirali? You remember, Vasan? I said in my lifetime, the scientific community is going to bow down to the Upanishads. And today, in this world of social media, you can see that the scientific community is in sync with the Vedas today. You'll note that they say they have discovered. You can't discover something that exists all the time. Can you discover it? They have realized. They have realized and not discovered. Because discovered is something that wasn't there, and when you found it, then you are the original discoverer. Like they said, they discovered Africa when Prince was already there. Prince, you was the owner of Africa, but they say they came here and they discovered that. Prince? Yeah, why you allowed them to do that? Why you allowed the colonial masters to say they discovered America when the Red Indians were there? Weren't they there already? So what they didn't discover, they realized that continent exists. Similarly, they are now saying that material matter emanates from consciousness. What they are now saying? But they can't prove how matter emanates from consciousness. All of a sudden that theory that they had of the Big Bang and chemicals You're not hearing the theory anymore. 10 years ago, that was the greatest theory, that everything came from chemicals. Today they are stating that everything emanates from consciousness. So material science has now declared the existence of the Supreme God. Because wherever there's consciousness, there's life. Wherever there's consciousness, there's life. Inside your body, as long as you are there, as the soul, there is consciousness, and as soon as the soul departs from the body, what happens? No consciousness. It becomes matter. But everything, that body could not have emanated through chemicals. It had to take its birth through consciousness. Everything takes its birth through consciousness. And the scientists are now declaring that the entire universe is conscious. Entire universe is conscious. And I saw they made a small discovery recently that the earth has a heartbeat. Earth has a heartbeat. I want to extend that to the universe. The universe has a heartbeat. Whose heart is beating in the universe? The Supreme Lord's heart is beating in the universe for all the functions to take place. So in my lifetime, 2016 to now, nearly how many years? 8 or 9 years. In 9 years, we pushed this declaration and we made it a reality. Did we not? At the Sri Narayan Dham, we took on material science when no one had the capacity to do that. Yes or no? Because when I made this declaration that the scientists are going to bow to the Upanishads, it wasn't a common thing. It wasn't a common thing. So Prince, I'm sure you'll find it. Prince finds everything. Okay? Then why am I discussing this on this auspicious day? A few years ago, there was a temple in Durban Central that was having this function. And they were asking the couple hundred members for 2,050 rand each to take part in a havan. 100 times 2,500 is how much? How much? 250,000 to go to a temple on this big day, sing the Hanuman Chalisa 11 times and some Hanuman bhajans, purify the atmosphere and go home. Purify the atmosphere and go home. And that is why the Sri Narayan Dham took its birth. To stop all these nonsense. Don't you think that's nonsense, Nirali? 2.5 of your hard-earned money to put sticks in a fire. Put some ghee. Can't you do it at home? Yourself? Put some ghee on a stick, light a fire. How much it will cost you, Nirali? Under 200 rand. What difference it make where you put sticks and ghee and fire? Is the result not the same? Is the atmosphere getting cleaned or not clean? These priests, you understand what language they speak in when they say Om Swaha? What is the name of Om? What Om Swaha means? Can't you say Om Swaha? Can you say Om Swaha? What's the difference between a priest saying Om Swaha and you saying Om Swaha? Are you understanding? So the Sri Narayan Dham took its birth to kick out all this nonsense. And on a day like this, you must go home with enlightenment. That is why God comes down and have all these epics, so that when you go home enlightened. It must be practical and tangible. I've said from a long time that don't come to this ashram and waste your 100 or 150 rand petrol and your 1.5 hours and go home with nothing. When you come to this ashram, you must come here and your reason must be practical and tangible. Your presence here must create an atmosphere of spirituality. When you are here, your presence must create, you must come into a spiritual bubble. You must come into a spiritual bubble. The Sri Narayan Dham is a spiritual bubble. You must enjoy the spirituality. You must absorb the high frequency energy. You must absorb the here inside this room. Energy is moving at its highest and subtlest frequency, which you are absorbing constantly. Which you are absorbing constantly. When you are outside of this bubble, what is your mind connected to? Wife, husband, car, house, money. Yes? What's your mind connected to when you're outside? Either money, or house, or car. In Vasan's case, cars. Alright? Money. When the mind is connected to matter, what happens to the frequency? A brick is matter, yes? Is the brick vibrating? No, yes? Yes, the brick is vibrating. To stay in shape, all the atoms in the brick is in a vibration. But the vibration is at such a low frequency that it remains in shape. It is in such a low frequency that it remains in shape. Your gold, is it vibrating? Again, very, very low frequency, it stays in shape. Money in your pocket, is it vibrating? Is it vibrating? Yes. But in the lowest frequency, it maintains its shape. So it is energy at the lowest frequency, very, very subtle frequency. So when your mind is connected to the lowest frequency, you have more matter in your body than energy. Your frequency is very, very low. Now, if you need to attract something, how long will a low frequency take to reach from this end of the room to that end? How long? Very long. And how long would a high frequency take to reach this room from this end to that end? Very quickly. I want you to understand this concept. Understand it carefully. So when you are vibrating in the frequency of matter, whatever you desire will be in proportion to the speed of the frequency when it immersed in matter. like 0,000000001 millimeter per second. Alright? Even a snail goes at lightning speed compared to the frequency of matter. And a tortoise is also the speed of light in terms of your mind when it is locked onto. Are you understanding? I want you to keep this thought in mind. When you think of your wife, when you think of your husband, when you think of your house, when you think of your job, when you think of money, that frequency is locked at the lowest level. At the lowest level. Inside this ashram, how many frequencies do you think we have? Okay, how many radio stations are there in South Africa? Many. How many TV stations there are in South Africa with how many channels? So if we can do a scientific experiment here, can't we? We can bring in a radio and tune to all the different radio stations. But can you get 2 radio stations simultaneously? You can get 1 at a time. Where's that frequency? Is it out there somewhere, or is it already existing here in this ashram? Where is it? It's already existing. Right now, because we are not tuned in, doesn't mean to say there's no frequency there. Because as soon as you tune in, I know Satish like in Vani. Alright? Satish, his favorite radio station is in Vani, especially on Saturday Vasan between 7 and 9. Then he watches on TikTok. What's the name? Alright, so that is Satish's. Is that frequency here presently, in Vani frequency, is it in this hall?
Yes.
Is it vibrating here? Yes. All you need to do is get a signal and tune it to it. It's the frequency of TikTok, which Satish will want to watch live between 7 and 9 on every Saturday. Only between that time Jessica can't disturb you. Is that frequency of TikTok here? We only have to connect with it. Are you understanding? So all your frequencies that you need in life is always the Guru connects you to a particular frequency. And all frequencies have a language. All frequencies have a language because the frequency cannot emanate without energy. And what is the language of all the frequencies that exist in the universe? What is the frequency? Sorry? Yes. What is the name of that sound that's running this universe? Om. In what language does Om come? Sanskrit. Is Om not a language from Sanskrit? Has the Western schools not adopted Sanskrit as a language in the Western schooling system? And what reason they gave to adopt Sanskrit? Are they not singing in Sanskrit every morning? What does Sanskrit do? Sorry? It? No. It signals the brain. It's a signal to the brain. Sanskrit is a signal to the brain. How do disciples, when there's no books and no technology, how do disciples of the Guru Parampara. Remember 545,000 verses of the Vedas. And they only learn it how many times, friends? Once. Not Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, until you just once, because it is, they say it in Sanskrit. Have you seen, they use Sanskrit and they use body language. They use Sanskrit as a language and they use body language. Go and watch the Gurukuls. You see them, they say ka, tu, ti. Have you seen that? So they touch the body and they use the language so that the brain is activated. You understand it? The brain is activated. That is the language of the universe. There's no other language in the universe. Sanskrit is the language of the universe, and NASA now wants to use Sanskrit in its computers because it's the perfect language. Scientists have appreciated, acknowledged. Scientists knew the Vedas long time ago. They are using the Vedas in all their technologies, but they are not technology. They are not. They were ashamed to acknowledge that the Vedas is the constitution of the universe. They have been using it all the time, but in this day and age of technology, they can't hide it any more. Do you understand? So the Vedas has proven itself. This is why I'm making this declaration boldly again today, that the Vedas is the seed of the universe. No Vedas, no universe. No architect, no plan drawer, no house. You understand? So it is significant today as Hanuman Jayanti to make these bold declarations, because 10 years ago, who people thought Lord Hanuman was? Person, who you thought Hanuman Baba was?
Superman.
A monkey god. Yes? Yeah, everyone thought he was a monkey god, and I saw some people getting Hanuman trance version. I don't know if you had the opportunity, and they blow their cheeks like this. Anyone saw? Sita, you blew your cheeks?
Yes.
Oh, you saw. Alright? Blowing the cheeks and climbing the bamboo pole. Sita, saw anyone climbing the bamboo pole?
Yeah.
Alright. You seen all of that? Okay, it's part of our mysticism, but it's not the all in all. Do you understand? Hanuman Baba in reality is who? Who is the foremost Vaishnavite? Lord Shiva. What is he seen doing in all his photographs? When you meditate, who do you meditate, or what do you meditate to? A higher? You can't meditate to something lower. You have to meditate to something higher. So what is Lord Shiva telling you when he is in constant meditation? What is he telling you? What message you getting from him? That there is a higher power than himself. Is he not saying that? Because you cannot meditate to anything lower. Vasan, can you meditate to Triveshni? You understand how ridiculous it will be if Lord Shiva is the supreme of the supreme and is meditating to something lower than himself. Like Vasan, the father, is meditating to his daughter. How ridiculous that is. And that's how ridiculous it is if anyone thinks that Lord Shiva is meditating to some entity lower than himself. he has to be meditating to an entity that is higher. Okay? So that is the spiritual hierarchy. And who is that some entity that is higher? Lord Sriman Narayan. So Lord Shiva is in constant meditation to Lord Narayan at every millisecond of his life. Because this is why you see him in meditation. So if Lord Narayan incarnates, what will be Lord Shiva's duty as the incarnation? Sorry? Don't you think he'll follow in the same relationship that he is at that level in the spiritual world? Don't you think he should follow in the same relationship when he comes into the material world? Yes. Is it logical, commonsensical? So it is Lord Shiva. When he comes to the material world, he becomes Lord Hanuman. How many of you knew this? Okay. It is important. Now, in the form of Lord Hanuman, what is Lord Hanuman teaching the world? What is Lord Hanuman teaching the world? To climb a bamboo pole? To blow his cheeks and bang his chest? Imagine the Guru get Lord Narayan in trance, what will happen to all of you all here in Big Ashram? Can you all imagine if the Guru get Lord Narayan in trance? Prince will already be halfway to Eastern Cape. He'll be flying faster than Lord Hanuman, with the biography in one hand and the Kwamata book in the other hand. And you see Prince flying to his temple there in Eastern Cape. If Guru could only get the Lord Narayan, Sita would be at the end of Devi Lok. Sita, Guru get Narayan trance, you will be at the end of Devi Lok. Okay? And I don't know where Tibeshni will be. In fact, I'm more surprised that Tibeshni is here than Lord Hanuman is here. I'm more surprised that Tibeshni is here at Satsang than Lord Hanuman. So you need to understand these are scientific declarations. What does scientific mean? Remember, science has a material connotation, it also has a spiritual connotation. And as the Guru, I bring the two together. I bring the two together so that you can assimilate and do not think that this is a myth. It's not a myth. So I want to make this declaration. I want you to read the Valmiki Ramayana. Jessica read the Ramcharitmanas. Ramcharitmanas was written in the 16th century. Valmiki Ramayana is eternal. Valmiki Ramayana is eternal. Ramcharitmanas was a sage in the 16th century who wrote this Ramayana. So the authentic Ramayana is that one by Valmiki, and in the Valmiki Ramayana 4 times it is mentioned. How many times? That the Vanaras were asked, they were normal superior humans, were asked to take the form of monkeys. How many times? And in the Valmiki Ramayana they came back to the normal human features, and then they took the monkey features. So the monkey-like appearance of the Vanaras is to fit in a particular narrative in the Ramayana. Alright? I see most of us, as soon as we see a real monkey, we say, Lord Hanuman came and we could give the monkey food. And don't we do that? We don't want to chase them. But they are just monkeys. They are monkeys, but that monkey depiction in the Valmiki Ramayana is this humans who took on, they are Devis and Devtas. Devis and Devtas that took on a monkey form for a particular narrative in the Ramayana. And we should not look at monkeys and say they are Hanuman Baba. Do you understand? Monkeys are monkeys. Baboons are baboons. Snakes are snakes. Alright? They take the form of spiritual entities, but when you look at a snake, Nirali, don't go make home. Maybe poison can enter you and you, Nirali, can be no more. Alright? Gita is very happy. Yeah, I want to bring clarity to all these things that Indians have got used to. Indians have got used to. And whilst I'm talking, just stick around. After supper, we have beautiful rot made by Satish Pandey. We're going to enjoy that rot. It is a thing that we need, because why is rot important? Nirali, today is supposed to be your 41st day of fasting for the Hanuman fast. How many? How many people fasted for 41 days up until today? Besides Prince. Didn't you fasted? Yes, you're a vegetarian. It means you are continuous fast. So we eat the raw. Well, today, if people dry fasted, then you eat the raw to lubricate your throat and your intestine, so that the food, solid food that you take in, won't hurt your throat and your intestines. That is why Satish Bhai made the raw. But everyone ate just before satsang. They ate. Now, in an hour's time, this room will be a hive of activity of eating. And even if Hanuman Baba races round and round, it would all, Lord Ram, Lord Sita, Lord Lakshman, nobody will pick up their head and worry about God. Everyone will be interested in eating. Alright? So, Hanuman Baba, his main aspect of incarnation from Lord Shiva to Hanuman Baba was to teach you how to be a disciple of the Supreme Lord. That is all. How to be a pure disciple of the Supreme Lord. Is he not the perfect disciple of the Supreme Lord?
Yes.
He is. But why do most of us pray for Hanuman Baba? For strength. Because we saw him lifting a mountain. So we say we want to be strong like Hanuman Baba. But the real reason is you must be strong like him in faith. You have to be strong in faith. And I've proven it in this ashram. Yes, see this biography. This is Zuma's one. See how many pages are here? Everything is the absolute truth. You can't do an academic biography without referencing. And I got a chapter here called Prophecies and Miracles. And I didn't want to put that chapter, Prophecy and Miracles. The professor pushed me to put Prophecies and Miracles, And when we put the chapter Prophecy and Miracles, Prince found all my prophecies and all my miracles over the years. So this biography is also going on Google Scholar. This biography is going on Google Scholar, so that scholars going to reference this biography when they're doing work in fields that are in this biography. And I also want to read very, very quickly this is Prince's PhD. This is Prince's PhD, and I remember last year in a church. Who remembers the sermon I gave in a church last year in Newland? It's only done I was there. Yes. And what I said in that sermon, I said Prince is going to do his PhD based on my biography. Did I say that? So Prince didn't believe me. Prince, you believe me? Prince didn't believe me. He went to do his PhD. His assignment was Usamu, Samu. And Samu means a place of worship and spirituality. So they gave Prince about 20 books. Sherwin is a witness. Every day Prince was crying. Hey Guru, your biography was so, I could move with your biography. This subject they gave me is so boring. I can't even open one book and understand. So I told Prince, like I told Basin a couple of years ago, and his daughter, when things get tough, where you must go fall down, Basin, next to hole? The big hole. You all know where's the big hole? On my right hand side, see that photograph right in the end? So I told Prince, take your books and place it at the feet of the big O, the Supreme Lord. Prince didn't only place his books there, he also placed himself there. That's how desperate he was. So there were about 20 books, I don't know if you saw, and then Prince, anytime I came in, if I didn't see him there, I saw him there with his books. Okay? And then the professor informed Prince that you must now go to the Guru's biography and get your reference point from there to do your PhD. So I said this in a church, not in a ashram. The evidence is there already that Prince's PhD will be from my biography. So I want to read. So Prince's mother is an Indian. Do you all know that? Kaur Singh. Kaur Singh, she comes from my religious DNA. She comes from my religious DNA. And when Prince was a young boy, 13, 14, he should watch Hindi movies. He should watch Hindi movies. He doesn't know why. His foster parents were Christians, and they should catch him ducking and watching the Hindi movies. You know the song Singing in the Park, wasn't it? You saw some Hindi movies? Love stories, singing in parks, running around colored flower gardens, falling down, getting up, singing in the rain. You know Hindi movies. Prince was loving that. Without meeting an Indian, he didn't know Indians, he didn't know the culture. No Indian people took him to Shiraz, Shah Jahan, Naz, nobody. He didn't have that experience. But he should hide under the blanket and watch Indian movies. Right? Then an Indian lady should appear in his dreams and guide him. An Indian lady should appear in his dreams and guide him. And she sent him to me. his mother sent Prince was in a hospital in Cape Town. And she told Prince, you now have to go and meet a guru. So Prince didn't know of any guru. Prince didn't know of any guru. He found his Llewellyn. Who is Llewellyn to you?
Wow, he's a prince also.
He's a prince and is in KZN.
Yes.
So his mother told him in a dream whilst he was in hospital, only when you find a guru, then this whole story of yours will be completed. Prince found his cousin Llewellyn and asked Llewellyn to find a guru for him in KZN, because most Indians are more likely to find a guru. Then Llewellyn found Bishop Bernard. You know Bishop Bernard? Pastor Julie's bishop. Then Bishop Bernard contacted me on WhatsApp and he told me there's a meeting in Wentworth with the Khoisan, and he invited me to that meeting. And he said they are forming a political structure and they asked him to be the secretary of that structure, but he is not in politics and he knows my interest in politics, and I must attend this function and see whether I want to become the secretary of that organization. And when I went there, I met Prince. So because today is Hanuman Jayanti, I'm only going to talk the good part about Prince. There's another part after that. I love talking about it. You know, it starts with 2 alphabets. Anyone know what the 2 alphabets are? You all know that Khoisan politician, what's his name? Gayton Mackenzie. What is the party's alphabet's abbreviations are? Yeah, let's keep it clean and there. Let's keep it clean and there, okay? Because it's, today we can't mess up. We can't mess up. But Nirali, if you want to know the story next week Sunday, just ask me, Acharya ji, what the other part of Patriotic Alliance is. And I'll have no problem revealing to you. Prince will be in Eastern Cape, but he'll watch it live. Alright? So that's how we got connected to Prince. Prince's connection to me is spiritual. You see, in spirituality, everyone makes mistakes. Prince made his mistake, but the first thing Prince did, he came here and he apologized to the world that he made a mistake with the Guru. And that cleaned his slate immediately. That, because this is what you need to do. You must be man enough. When you made a mistake, you must come back to that institution. You must take the mic, Ashmika, and you must say, I made a mistake. Healing only starts. Spiritual healing only starts when you come out of denial. When you come out of denial, Prince. So this is why Prince's progress is so fast. The university is embracing him. Every professor is embracing him. Prince is hot property at UKZN. If he carries on like this, in a few months he might be the dean of that university. Alright? So his apology for not listening to the Guru opened every door. Yes or no, Prince? So I want to read here quickly. This is now a paper that's going to be presented to UKZN as part. This 2 pages is Prince's PhD. This 2 Yes, Prince? Because his entire PhD now going to revolve on these two pieces of paper. So we're talking about his mom, and I'm quoting, his mom said, "When you fulfill all the requirements of my tribe, you will gain the wisdom and strength to revive Sanatana Dharma of Kwamat, centered on the descendant Somo stories hidden by colonial Christianity." Hidden by colonial Christianity. This is what his mother told him in his dream. The research problem intensified in 2024 as the researcher repeatedly changed PhD topics, having agreed on one with Professor Moyo. In another dream, his mother appeared, instructing him to meet with Professor Moyo, Guru Acharya Sham Ramanuj, and Professor Vikiz. She revealed that they would guide him in aligning his academic work with his spiritual calling to Kwamata. Professor Moyo honored the dream's message, and together with Professor Vikiz and the Guru, a new topic was agreed upon, restoring the researcher's ancestral Umsamo to reconnect with his parents and Kwamata. To fulfill his mother's wishes, the researcher was also assigned as an academic editor for the Guru's biography, an act of spiritual and scholarly significance. The reason I'm reading this is Prince has not started his PhD yet, but I'm already saying his PhD is complete. Do you understand? This is another prophecy of the Guru. I'm saying without him starting, his PhD is complete. So I've spoken to many people in this satsang. I've spoken to many people in this satsang. I'm always guiding you. I'm telling you, if you don't follow a particular instruction that I give you, your life will be a mess. If you follow me, you're going to be successful. If you don't follow me, you'll never be successful. And that is a guarantee. It's not personal between me and you. There's nothing personal between me and you. I have seen who you are. I'm a guru. I am a guru. I know where your karma is leading you. I know where you're going to end up. I know that. And because I know it, I tell you. Because I know it, I tell you. So yes, Prince is an academic person. He's a university product. And he apologized to the Guru for not following my instructions. Then who is anyone else? Do you understand what I'm saying? There are multimillionaires that came to this ashram. And I made people multimillionaires in this ashram. So it is very, very imperative that whatever I tell you to do, you have to follow it to the T. My instructions are not heavy. I don't ask you to go and fast for 41 days before this prayer, Nirali. Friday night, Saturday, Wednesday, Nirali was enjoying a chicken. Wednesday, big piece of chicken. She had the skin, she crunched the bone, you know, the edge of the chicken bone, two sides. The chickster, she leaves nothing for the dog. Nothing for the dog, all right? So what's hard? I'm not sending you through I'm only making you aware, because consciousness is awareness. Consciousness is awareness. Spirituality does not mean to say you must be right all the time. That is bull. 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 Spirituality doesn't mean to say, Asmika, that you can't get your Maha Durga trance and fight to Davir. You can do that. You can do that. But you must be aware. Spirituality means you must be aware. Aware of what? You must be aware of right and wrong. You must be aware of right and wrong. You don't have to be right all the time. Have you seen the Guru right all the time? Guru is not right all the time. Guru is, because I can't live righteously, then I can't connect to you. If I am right all the time, which I can be, for me it's nothing, but how I'm going to connect to you when Vasana is 15% of the time wrong? How am I going to connect to Vasana? Do you understand? But for you to be spiritual, hear me again, you have to become aware. You don't have to become 100% right. It is impossible to be 100% right in this universe. And this is why people are afraid of spirituality, because they think they have to be right all the time. You just have to be aware all the time. Like Abir, when I was whacking him for his first year when he was sitting right in the front. No, one Sunday, he came with a chickster in his stomach. I was sitting here, I saw the chickster battling in his stomach. And he came and he sat here. And whatever the Guru should say, maybe 2 words from one sentence should go inside. Alright? So he should carry on. His son said he liked the thing in the polystyrene tumbler. That one was only 4 years old, but what he said, my father likes the thing with the polystyrene tumbler and his friend. But he became aware. He became aware. He didn't become right. He became aware. And as he became more and more aware, Yadvan said the polystyrene cup is no more there. Yadvan? No more polystyrene? Yeah. That is spirituality. That is spirituality, you becoming aware of your situation. Then I want to end up, it is important I do it today. These are documents. These are archival documents. These are archival documents. It's called Ikama Kwamata. Ikama Kwamata. All the scriptures of African spirituality was destroyed by the Christian missionaries. Somehow these documents survive. These documents survive. This document is written by Professor Robert Sebekwe. You all know him? Sebekwe? You all heard of him? Robert Sebekwe. The apartheid government destroyed the rest of his documents. Only these documents survived. These documents were hidden and they were given to Prince. The instruction from the San Nation was that before these documents are given to Prince, he must have a degree. So these chiefs that we saw with Prince and the family, Robert Sebekwe's wife, mentored Prince and made sure he get his degree in 2011.
2003.
In 2003, he completed his degree, and then they gave him these archival documents of the San people. Lord Hanuman appeared how long ago? 2 million years ago. The Vanaras are written here in the archival documents. There's mention of the Vanaras. I'll just read. Let the burdened bosom of the ageless land, where time's fair hand. Okay, let me go to verse 2. A Vana vast where spirits wake, heaven's dome and river's lake, a great forest Vana, where the ethereal spirits of old stir from some slumber, present felt in the very air. So they're talking about the Vanaras. In-
Same description is in the Ramayana.
yes, this is what I'm saying now. Then they're talking about Arjuna. They're talking about Arjuna. But my favorite is they talking about Shami. How many of you heard about Shami? How many of you know Shami? Let me read what they say about Shami. Shami was the son of Iroko and Sami, the fair daughter of Vanaspati. You heard of Vanaspati. Remember, this is archival documents from African spirituality. From African spirituality with Sanatan Dharma characters. At birth, his mother bestowed upon him the name Shami, for he was named after Arjuna, the valiant warrior. This is millions of years ago. Go Google the name Shami and see how many people in the world got the name Shami. And is it a coincidence that Prince bring this archival document to a guru who was born as Shami Singh? Is it coincidence? Can this ever happen in a billion or billion chances? Can this happen? That Prince brings this document to a guru whose name is also Shami. Do you understand? Hey, I can read so much of Shami, but we don't have time. Every minute I take, I'm taking away your eating time. So I want to again re-establish the bold declaration I made in 2016 on an international discourse, and I said that scientists will bow down to the Upanishads. Am I complete? I made a bold declaration. I said that Sanatan Dharma is the root of all existence. Is this not reconfirming that? Princes tribe, how old they are, if they emanated from the Vanaras. Pardon? 2 million years. And then I want to end. The Ramayana is the first poetry book ever to exist in the universe. The Ramayana is the first poetry book ever to exist in this universe, and the Ramayana is also the longest poetry. It's also the longest poetry, 100,000 verses. How much? Yeah, there's nothing to come nearby. But the Ramayana for human beings is 24,000 verses. Remember the human hierarchy? We got the Pitralok, the Devi Lok, and all these other loks. The Ramayana is also distributed in those realms. You understand? 25,000 years, 75,000 verses of the Ramayana is in the upper regions of this universe, higher regions of this universe. So the Ramayana has proven itself not to be a myth. The Guru is bringing references to you. And I'm saying this because Prince is going to use this discourse in his PhD, and later when university students, those doing physical science and biology, university students, I'll be teaching them spiritual science, and I'll bring these two together. They will do it via experiment, I'll just do it by downloading information already uploaded by the Supreme Lord. All of you understand? So we are this is the sunset part of the Guru's life. This is the sunset part of the Guru's life. But it can be very, very exciting. We all take this journey together. If academia accept righteous living connected to a higher power, what will happen to the rest of society? If you see Professor Moyo, Professor Keys, and what's the dean's name, Prince? Kumalo, one Sunday doing arti for the Guru, how will the academic world take that? How will the academic world take these three professors, the dean of the university, the head of department, and the head of another department coming here and doing arti for the Guru? You think that will happen, Vatan?
Yes.
You think that will happen? How will the world take it? How will the academic world take it? Because people look up to academic people, don't they? As soon as you hear Prince got a master's, hey, Prince, he's no more a sand prince now. You're looking up at him because he did his master's. Do you understand? As soon as you see anyone with your educated title, what happens to your own psyche? Huh? Yeah, you look high, you understand? And when you see these academia bowing to a guru, what will happen? Well, if I'm in the university, it means they already bowed to the guru. Yes, Prince? And I'm saying this boldly, I'm saying it boldly, that we have entered a huge space. The Sri Narayan Dham has entered a space where no religious institution has touched yet. Has touched yet. So we're in a world first in what we are doing. I always say this, we are in a world first, and later I always prove it, we are in a world first. So I'm saying, if you are part of this congregation, if you have an opportunity to be in this congregation, and if you don't smell the honey, then there must be something really wrong with your nose. Maybe I must do a transplant of Ramaphosa's nose on. I must do a transplant because Ramaphosa can smell anything. He got turbo nose. Alright? So I'm begging all of you here, please follow the Guru's instructions. Very, very basic instructions. Nothing hard. You can carry on robbing the dog of the chicken feet. No problem. Just come to satsang when the Guru tells you to come to satsang. Guru earns nothing by any one of you coming to satsang. God don't look at Guru and say, hey, today Guru got full house, 10 out of 10 for the Guru. Guru is born 10 out of 10. Guru is born 10 out of 10 with the Supreme Lord. The Guru's humility must not be taken for stupidity. Guru's humility must not be taken for stupidity. Prince can tell you all on that. From when he comes back, Prince, you can have your own satsang after my satsang. There behind the curtain. You can bring your clients one by one. Alright? So one day I was joking to Prince. I told Prince, nobody is there in the ashram. We all go in, I'll be gone for about 4 or 5 hours. If somebody comes, don't charge them more than 1,000 rand. Just charge. Before I could leave, Prince came dressed up in his dhoti, ready. He thought he'd make a few thousand rands on that day, right? Sorry, Prince. This ashram is a no-charge ashram. The only thing you have to do is now and again come and cook. That's the only criteria in this ashram. So I hope you all feel the presence of Hanuman Baba. You have got a Hanuman Arti ready. Please take satsang serious. It is for your own good. You can only change at satsang. You can only make changes at satsang. I've proven it. There's my life's history here. Many, many pages on this book. I've proven it that this ashram works. Anyone who has faith in this ashram, the power is reciprocal. Jai Sriman Narayan.